All right, I think we are ready. What's up, everybody? We got Ivy, the queen is in the house. Abe Zoo, long time. I'm still upset with the first guy to ever weigh packs. Epic Mom is in the house. Let's go. All right, let's get this show on the road, everybody. Hello, everyone. It is Harley from EpicTube HD back at you with another epic live. It's been a minute. Texas Ted, give a big welcome to the man, the myth, and the legend. Oh, am I seeing TCG Texas Ted? I don't recall seeing that before. All right, let's get a little bit of music rolling here. Hopefully I don't have any echo. Hello, Brooklyn. How are you, my friend? Hopefully there's no echo. No dumpster fires, maybe? I'm hoping, please. Now, I do have thunderstorms rolling in the area. Hopefully there's no issues. Yes, a true legend. But welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show. It's my first show back in a while. We got a new computer. I got a new setup. I'm ready to start rolling. We're ready to get this on, and I'm excited. I got a computer that can legitimately stream. It's about time. It only took me like 4 years. No echo. Beautiful, Ivy. Thank you so much. But I am so happy, guys. I have a special guest today. You guys have seen him on the channel before, and he's a great person. I think he's the most respected person to speak to in this hobby. I have nothing but great superlatives to say about him, but let's go ahead and introduce him, the one and only. Whoops, I didn't set that one up. Let's go. Let's go to our guest, Real King Pokemon. Welcome.
Hey guys, hey Harley, how nice to see you.
We are doing well. We're doing well. Crystal collects. What's going on, Crystal? NYC is in the house. Hope you guys can hear Gary well. Gary, how are you doing, my friend?
Oh, I'm doing very well. Just so you know, I'm not seeing, I can see you and I can see me, but I can't see any words or any chat or any of that stuff. So it's okay. I don't care, but yeah.
He's on the iPad. But,
yeah.
All right. It's all right. We'll I'll relay it out to you. Hey, Crystal.
Okay.
Hope you're doing well. Creating fantastic content from the other side. Well, she's not on the other side of the planet, but her content comes from there. Dan, that's a mega microphone. We are just making sure I got everything good here. Again, I got a brand new setup now, so there's a lot of stuff going on, and I'm just getting used to it. I've been, as you guys know, I became known as the Dumpster Fire channel. I took it in and I accepted it because there wasn't a time I think I could go live without something going wrong. And I just got sick of it. So, hey, Mimic Brew, welcome. So what's going on, Gary? You got any news? Anything happening in your world?
Well, you know, this is a busy time of year for Collecticon. And so, like, I'm on 9 days off in between New Jersey last week and North Carolina coming up on we leave on Thursday. So this is a busy time for me because, you know, the old man needs time to recover in between. So here I am. I've been getting my stuff together for Collecticon. You know, at every Collecticon, I give away free slabs to all the kids, and so I've been getting. Here, I can show you. I have 3 of these boxes. You can see for Charlotte, and they're all slabs for the kids. You know, all vintage cards. They're all mint and gem mint, and so I've been spending all day today getting that together because I've been doing it enough times now where the kids are starting to expect it. So I got to make sure I have enough. And a shout out to CGC, who were nice enough to put Collecticon on the back of the label.
Oh, nice little touch.
You know,
nice
there.
Touch.
And for most of these kids, because pretty much 14, 15 and below, it's their first slab. So, you know, so there you go. And I mean, they all say it's my first slab, and I'm appreciative to CGC for doing that. Plus taking care of a lot of the expenses and everything. And so
yeah, I don't think people really know, man, what you're doing at these Collecticons.
Yeah. Well, what I, you know, Harley, what I do is I'm fortunate enough to have a scooter. They give me a scooter. So like the lines are so long that I can get on my scooter, get all my giveaways, and I can travel the line and, you know, bring a little.
Whoops. My bad.
And not only people don't like waiting in line, they don't like waiting in a line that doesn't move. And so like in New Jersey, it was about 3 or 4 blocks long. I mean, it was just insane. And so, yeah, so anyway, a lot of the parents appreciate it too, that their kids are getting something for free and getting to meet me, those who know me, and, you know, getting pictures and that. So anyway, that brings, that you know, makes the old man feel worthwhile. So I enjoy that.
Hey, JD and Tempe, welcome. Kenneth Abel says, please tell Gary I said hello.
Hey, how you doing, brother? Nice to hear from you. You have a lot of nice people here. You know, of course, I love Ivy, and you know, she's a neighbor and a friend. And of course, Texas Ted is one of our traveling partners. We've been to Paris together a couple times, and so it's so good to hear that they're in the chat.
Yes, thank you guys for coming today. I definitely appreciate it. Yeah, Gary, see you Saturday, says JD and Tempe. He'll be in Charlotte with Chronicles of Arcane.
Oh, you know what? I like Chronicles of Arcane. They have this cool thing where you can go on an app, point the app or the camera at the holofoil, and the holofoil moves around. And yeah, Chronicles of Arcane, he's doing a good job, and I think he's doing things right. He's a pretty sharp kid. I support him as much as I can. So, yeah, hi, and I will see you in North Carolina for sure.
Yeah, JD's YouTube short on the augmented reality for Chronicles is sitting at 500,000 views.
Wow.
Yeah, so a lot of people have gotten to see it. Ivy says, love back to you, Gary. So today's stream is as much as we like to have fun, and we're gonna have fun regardless, right?
Yes.
But today's stream is to basically talk about, to get your your thoughts and ideas, because you're definitely, in my personal opinion, you're the most well-respected person in the hobby. You've been around the longest. You've got the most, I think, experience and knowledge. Your insight is invaluable. You've done it all. I haven't been to your house. Hopefully I'll get to when I come out to visit Ivy and film her store. But I hear you have a mega collection that's beyond Pokemon, which it sounds really nice. But you're a hardcore collector, or what they would call a hoarder.
Right.
But
a hoarder of good stuff.
Yeah, right. So with all that said, I just didn't think, I wanted to, I know my channel's not big yet. I'm trying to get back in the swing of things. And I appreciate you coming on with me, but I definitely wanted to get your more of your opinion and thoughts on this X-ray topic that's going on. I did see your post. I saw, it wasn't until after you posted and I saw people started commenting and I started reading the comments that I was like, okay, I think it'd be good to have Gary come on and get his opinion out there on exactly why you think you are. Because, you know, writing is not the same as talking. You know, there's context missing. We all know that story, right? Context is important.
Plus, there's a lot of time. You know, it takes a lot of time to, especially for me, to write things out. And I'm known for talking a bit, so I can never get all my thoughts down on paper.
Yeah, and I think it would just said it'd be a great to hear your thoughts on this whole X-ray scanning. Now, real quickly, if people who don't know that are chiming in right now and don't know what I'm talking about. So it was about a couple weeks ago, there was a gentleman who came forward and said, hey, I found an X-ray scanner, a used one, and he picked it up for like $1,500. So the story got out. Hey, THP, what's up? Welcome. Good day, mates. Welcome, my friend. Our good friends down in Australia there. So they bought this scanner, and apparently this person was a tech, an X-ray tech already, or had some type of knowledge. But they picked up a scanner. Word got out what they were doing. I guess they also put it out there, you could say. But I believe it's somebody else that seemed to jump into this with a lot more resources. And then suddenly we started hearing cards have been scanned. It's happened. And we were like, what is going on here? Like, what do you mean it's happened? These guys just got it, you know, picked this up. They go, no, it's another company. And the company's called, I think it's called Industrial Inspector is what they're called. And basically they're a giant, you know, warehouse, manufacturer, scanner of X-ray goods or whatever the case may be they do. And they reached out to Mike, Rattle Pokemon, which, by the way, I asked Mike to come on, but he said he couldn't, unfortunately. But he wanted to, but he couldn't come on. I would love to have gotten his opinion on it. Now, he did put out a couple of videos. So
yeah, he's a big supporter of scanning cards and packs. Yeah.
That's gonna get clipped.
Right.
So you know, I saw they reach out to Rattle. They reached out to another Australian who goes by the name of OK J Love. Now, I've never met OK J Love. I just started kind of watching his channel recently. I did do a video because he kind of blew up recently because he did a video about investing in the market and calling out, I guess, YouTubers who do investments and stuff. And I kind of did a video against that video. Not against. I just gave a video of my thoughts about it. But I started watching him a bit. And sounds like a sound guy. He's a hardcore Pokemon player. He plays the game, travels to the regionals. They contacted him. And I'm not sure who else they contacted because they did say they were contacted by journalists and other YouTubers. Now, never heard of him? Yeah, he's an Australian. It goes by the name of OK J Love. And he's just started rising in the YouTube world. I think he's around 20K subs now. His name's getting out there a bit. A lot of people know him way more than myself. And hello, Black Market. Welcome, my friend. Fellow LAN. What do you say? LAN? Los Angeles? What do you call Gary?
Los Angelino.
Los Angelino, yes, MetaZoo Black Market. So basically, OK J Love accepted, I guess, their information and said he would make a video about it and kind of put it out there. Sarith Kesey says, hello, Gary, hello.
Hi.
I guarantee you met Kesey during the MetaZoo days. Yeah, MetaZoo days.
Yes.
So,
absolutely.
So he said, okay, he made a video, but his video is kind of promoting the company already. Now, I know Mike's thoughts were Rattle Pokemon was trying to work. He was trying to work with them too, so he could figure out what they were doing. Yes. I think they quickly realized what he does. And said,
he was undercover.
Yeah, and said, okay, I don't think I'm going to go with it. I don't think we're going to go with you. and they kept pressing him. Then I guess they messaged him. They weren't very happy. But that's the story behind this. This group, this imaging group, has officially scanned quite a bit of stuff, and legitimately, from what we've seen in the videos so far, has legitimately identified several big hitters. I mean, we're not just talking Pokemon here. We're talking Yu-Gi-Oh! I saw they did have some trouble with Magic the Gathering. Topps, Panini. I mean, there's no stopping that something that's sealed. So we want to basically, I've talked long enough now. Let's hear from Gary. So tell us, Gary, before we really get into this, what has happened before X-ray scanning? Like, what were all the bad and negative things that were, everybody worried about over the years? I saw that this is something you tapped into a little bit.
Yeah, well, I want to say that they say that they're having trouble with Magic because in the very early sets there were no holofoils, but in the vintage sets after, like Alpha, Beta, like in the Urza Saga and all those, they do have holofoils, and I don't see any reason why they can't get that same information off those Magic holofoils. So I could be wrong, but I don't see what's the difference. So, and probably my biggest question I wish somebody could answer about this whole thing is, will those X-ray scan machines scan cards that are already graded inside of plastic, PSA or GG get graded in England, or can they tell through the slabs? So that I would like to get a confirmation on.
I do have an answer for you. I spent the morning speaking to an undercover, well, he's not really undercover, but he works for the government. He is an actual radiation X-ray, I forgot the name of his title now, but his job is to go and scan these giant container ships at ports and at many other places, and his whole thing is scanning. And so I got a lot of information on all of that. But
so they could certainly do it then.
Oh, that would be, it'll be no problem for that, for sure.
Right.
So, but before X-ray scanning came along, we had other issues like pack weighing,
yes,
resealing. I know that was something you had brought up in your Instagram post, was that we basically have lived through, the past 25 to 35 years, depending whether you're Pokemon or Magic the Gathering. We've lived through, pack weighing and resealing. So how do you see that? How did that affect the hobby during your time so far in this hobby?
Well, I think it affected a little bit on the I would say, the way that sealed product is viewed, but it certainly didn't hurt the hobby a lot. It did cause some changes in the way you treated sealed product. And that was kind of what my post on Instagram was all about, was, yeah, they've had all kinds of things like this come up in the past that were pretty conclusive, but the hobby survived, and that what we need to do is adjust. And so I got one comment down there that said that, what do you mean adjust? That we shouldn't have to adjust, and we'll just buy singles.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I explained, and I wanted to explain, if I could have found the comment again, I wanted to explain that, well, what you just did is made an adjustment. You're not going to get the sealed thing, you're going to buy singles, so you adjust. So there's I would say that you have to make an adjustment, and every step along the way, with all these changes, that all these technology benefits that came up, that they're going to be that they were overcome. This will be overcome, but you're never going to be able to look at sealed product the same again, and that's kind of a shame. I had what the first thing I thought of was the fun that me and the boys, Jay and Devin, had opening up packs. And Devin, who might be in the chat, he said he was going to come on here. He said that one of his greatest memories was opening a pack with me, pulling a Charizard out of a base pack, going to bed, holding the card, waking up in the morning, the card still in his hand that I could see when I checked in on him in the morning. And it's one of the greatest memories for me. And it's one of the things that he'll always remember me for. And it was pulling that Charizard. Now that's not going to happen a lot anymore, as long as they're, traceable cards.
Yeah.
So, and then the second thing, great memory, in 2002, him and I, along with an old friend, opened up a first edition base box, and we pulled 3 first edition Charizards, and all 3 graded PSA 10. Now, I know that's kind of unbelievable, but 2 people that are still alive were there to see it. One was Devin, and one was Joel, my friend in Ohio. So, those memories, chances for those memories might be gone now. Because I was thinking, what if that box had been scanned, and you see there's 3 Charizards inside? How would that have affected everything? How would that have changed things? So anyway, that's just a couple of my impressions on that. As far as the beginning, there's actually some ways that they used to check the packs that no one has even mentioned before. And I don't talk about it because I don't want to educate people that are going to do it, right? But now that there's so many other ways to do it, including just weighing the packs, there was something called squeezing. And if you've ever opened up the early packs, there's a little curve in the holofoil cards. You can look at the edge, this part, and you can see a little separation between 2 of the cards because the holofoil card curves a bit. And I knew a guy who could actually squeeze that section and feel if there was any. I was never able to do it, but he was able to squeeze with his fingers the edge of the pack and could feel the cards come together just that millimeter. And he was always right. So that was the way to detect the holofoil. So I always called it squeezing, though I never talked about it much. I don't think I've ever talked about it on during an interview. So, but anyway, that was one way, squeezing. And then of course they had pack weighing, and they had, maybe not with the base set, but they had mapping for a lot of the Magic cards. They had mapping.
Yep.
All those things were overcome, and then they do packs now, and they do boxes now. I made a comment where most of my good stuff are in sealed cases. But does that mean they're never going to be able to scan a sealed case? Oh, they're, like you said, they do ships. They're going to be able to do sealed cases probably at some point too.
Oh yeah.
So what is the answer? Well, the simple answer that annoyed everybody was adjust. Like we always have, we've had to make changes, to our, system of collecting. And I'm not a big complainer, about, dimwits doing this stuff, but because they're going to do it, the money's there, they're going to do it. You can't avoid it, and you're not here's the important thing. You're not going to stop it. So how much should we put into it? You know, considering we can get nothing out of it, right? So even though I'm sure everybody watching, along with Harley, along with me, we think it's disreputable, but so what? We can't change it. We can't do anything about it. We have to make adjustments. So anyway, those are from the early days. I don't claim to be an expert on doing that and then reselling, because I'm not much of a reseller, you know, like most know. I just like to collect.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest misinformations out there, is that you're this huge, you know, there's so many conspiracy theories about all the stuff that you do, and yeah, I think it's funny.
Well, you know, the people that know me and the people that know my situation realize I'm not going to do something to make, you know, $100 on you. I don't need to. So, yeah, but I know some people say silly stuff, and, you know, that's okay too. At least they pay attention.
Yeah, that's, like you said, going back to the kids, I mean, you know, that's what got me back into Pokemon as well, was my kids. And we started the YouTube channel opening with them. And those are great memories. And yeah, it hurt sometimes when you get at the end, you're like, I only got like 5 hits from an XY booster box or something, you know, you go like, oh, what in the world? But that's all part of it. It's just all part of the whole. They don't understand that when, you know, the product is specifically made for emotions. They do that on purpose. Right. I mean, all this stuff is very calculated. It's not done because they want to. Yeah, they could easily just print up a giant pack of cards, put 10 ultra rares in it, and let people buy it and open it. But it's just not part of the. It's a game too. So in fact, it's the game first. If we're being honest, the game first. So when you open those pack of cards, it's all about who gets what cards first. I mean, it's no difference if you had a pack of playing cards, you know, you sat down to go, you know, like you're playing poker, you know, and you get dealt your 7 cards. You can't go, well, I want 3 kings and 2 queens, please, or I want an ace, king, queen. You know what I mean? You can't pick. You get what comes to you. Yeah, it's a gamble and a game. I would say, hello, Brooklyn. It's both. It's a gamble and a game. Because like I said, if you buy Monopoly, you have to follow the rules of Monopoly. And the rules are you have to shuffle cards. You have to, there's certain things you do. Everyone's got to take a turn by throwing the dice, right? So there is that aspect to it. And I just think, you know, we tend to forget about that part because most of us are collectors. Like I said, I don't play the game. I have played it, but I don't play it. I'm a collector. I just love the cards. I love the art. It's fun. Right. But yeah, ultimately it's still a game, but it is a gamble at the same time. But to get more depth about more in depth on what the possible outcomes this whole situation can cause to the entire hobby, though, I think it's a lot more than, you know, resealing or pack weighing. Because, you know, when I'm at Collecticon, I film everybody because I think it's cool to show everybody that's out there sees my video who's all there. You know, maybe you saw them in a video, and when you go to a Collecticon, you're like, I saw you in that video, I want to buy from you. You know, it's like kind of it helps people build up some reputable reputation. Right. And when I'm at Collecticon, I'm looking, I'm kind of scared to buy a more expensive pack from somebody that I don't know them very well, and they've got unweighed, heavy, and light. I'm like, I'm a little freaked by that. But I do know some people. I'm gonna throw a name out there. Let's say Pokemon Network, very well established, very reputable. I think if you go to them and you bought an unweighed pack, you're 99.9999% you're getting the unweighed pack. But that's the tricky thing with that. But that's an easy get around. Like I said, you just go to people who are reputable. But
Right.
with this, it's just, I didn't, oh man. Basically, okay, before we get into it, so we got a pros and cons. And I sent you a list of my pros and cons. And I think that'd be a great thing to start off with, is to talk about the pros and cons of scanning. And believe it or not, people are probably gonna laugh at that. Like, what pros could there possibly be, right? And I'm not gonna lie, it did take me a little bit to I had to get the gerbil wheel rolling to think about what are the pros. How am I gonna tell people, or ask you, what are the pros to doing this, right? Hold on one second. Yeah, JD Temple says unscanned boxes will have value. Texas Ted says keep making the memories by opening the new stuff with the kids. 151 for starters. Twilight Masquerade for the Greninja. Oh yeah, we 100% have. Hey, look who's in the house. Devin is here. Let's go. Devin is in the house.
Let's now Devin is my youngest son. And now I'm going to embarrass him by showing this. That's Devin.
I think if anything, it's you. That's what everyone's probably looking at. No one is. I don't think too many people have seen a young Gary.
Yeah, Devin is holding a tiger or a lion.
Go to your left a little, Gary. Your left. Your left a little.
My left?
Yep, right there. Perfect.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
There's Devin holding a little lion. So I hope he's good and embarrassed right now.
Yeah, I'm sure Devin's not embarrassed. I've seen him at Collecticons. He can hold his own.
Listen, Devin, put in the chat whether the Dodgers made any moves or not by 3:00 Pacific time.
Yeah, today's the deadline.
Yeah, 3:00 it's over. I want to know if the Dodgers made any moves at the deadline.
Flattery. Flattery.
Oh, they got him?
That's what it looks like. Yep.
Yeah. I told Devin that was my what I thought was going to happen.
Yep.
Oh, you serious?
I wonder who the Braves picked up.
I don't care.
I'm in Braves country. I know.
What
to tell you. But
yeah, this is so funny.
Yeah, there's a lot going on right now.
I'm going to show you something. Here's a text
over the hill.
Devin sent me saying 3 hours left till the deadline. Still so many big names to be dealt. Fingers crossed. And look what I typed in blue.
Yep.
Flattery. That's what I said. I said that at noon. Flattery. Wow. So I'm a happy camper. Yay!
You should have went down and placed a bet on it.
I should have. Well, that's good news.
Here you go. Dodgers.
Okay.
The Dodgers should be made to give us back our guy, Freddie Freeman.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Live from Collecticon. Going to see you all on Saturday at Whatnot. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
He'll be doing Chronicles of Arcane from Charlotte.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll spend some time there because I really like what they're doing. I think it's cool. And I have some boxes and packs and cards that I opened myself, and it was a lot of fun. So they do a good job. I'll see them there.
I really wanted to make it to Charlotte this year just because I know a lot of the real long-time hobby people tend the Charlotte one.
Yes.
But with my situation this summer, it's just been so difficult.
Right.
My dad, his dementia has just gotten worse. We really have a hard time leaving him behind. And then we're, for those that may not know, I have been invited by the Pokemon Company to attend Pokemon Worlds in Hawaii. So I'm leaving in 2 weeks. I'm super excited.
I heard.
I've been talking with Lee Leonhardt, we've been talking. Breaking Nate. I mean, there's a whole bunch of us, and it's going to be pretty cool. I'm excited. You know, the way I look at it, you know, I don't look at it to go to have fun. I go to look at it as work almost, because to me, in my head, I just want to make the absolute best videos I can to make it shine. You know, that's my passion. That's what I really get enjoyment out of, is making just great videos.
Yes.
So I'm excited. I'm really excited. I've already got a whole bunch of ideas in my head. I got new drone batteries. Like I said, I got a bunch of stuff that I'm looking forward to doing. So, however, Texas Ted, please don't be mad at me. Please don't be mad at me. So, this is a bowl of rice. And inside of this bowl, there's a GoPro that was gifted to me back in Dallas earlier this year at the first Collecticon by Ted. He surprised me with a GoPro. And I forgot that I had changed the little door on it where the battery goes, because I wanted to have an infinite power source. So I got a door, because you can take the doors off, they're removable. And I forgot the one that I was on here was to plug in the infinite battery source. And I forgot to change it. So when we went to the water park the other day, I went to film, and luckily I didn't drown it in water, but I caught on pretty quickly. So it got a little wet. So it's on day 2 of hopefully it'll be okay. I have a bad habit. I've gone through probably 6-7 GoPros, because they're really good to use, especially when I go to Collecticon. I can have GoPros at different places, so that's how I get all the footage.
Along with your drone.
And the drone, yep. And you know what? A lot of people reached out to me about when back in 2022 when I did the Vanilla Ice one in Long Beach. They said, how many people were helping you? Where did you get your footage from on the Vanilla Ice stuff that I shot? I said, no, that was me. I just ran around. I ran through people. Well, I said, excuse me. And I would get shots. And then I ran over to the other side. Then I ran to the back. Then I ran around to the front, back to the other side. And that's all I did. And then what I did was I took the first Collecticon he sang at, which was Dallas, Fort Worth. And I used his audio from there to match up with the Long Beach. That's because I couldn't keep the cameras running the whole time. And that's how I got it. That's because I was only working with one camera. But anyways, you know, we're getting into the weeds here with stuff.
Yeah, well, you know, congratulations on going to Hawaii. I went to Hawaii in 2000, I think it was 2001, for the first Pokemon Worlds. And I actually got a signed lanyard by Kogamiro Himeno.
Oh, wow.
And she took off her lanyard, signed it, and gave it to me. And so that's one good memory. You can build a lot of memories at those. 2019, a lot of us met up in Washington, D.C. for Worlds. A lot of good memories from Worlds. And you're going to find a lot of content opportunities. Plus, a lot of good people are going. I couldn't go. The doctor and my wife only allow me a certain number of things I'm allowed to do. And I already do so many Collecticons. I do 12 or 13 I did 12 this year.
Oh, you've done so many this year.
Yeah, and I'm trying to, and I've made all of them, and I plan to make all of them. So I just can't add anything more. And then went to Paris earlier, and you know, I just can't add too many things to that. You know, you get older, these things get a little more difficult to do. Yeah. And so I just turned 70 recently in March. And so it gets a little, you know, a little bit harder. So, but now also in North Carolina, on Friday, a lot of us have a party, are going to be at a party over at Rusty TCA Gaming's house. And I
hope to meet him one day. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he's the salt of the earth. him and his wife and his kids. I mean, they're what tremendous people. I absolutely love and respect Rusty, and we've known each other for many, many, many years. And he's bought a whole ton of stuff, interesting stuff from me. And somebody was talking about, how are they going to adjust with the scanning thing? And all I can say is just buy from reliable sources like Rusty. Rusty, he has old stuff that he's had forever, and if there's any possibility it's a scanned box, you're going to know it buying from him. So
he's probably the second oldest, longest running person in the hobby behind you, I would say. I mean, there's probably a few people behind the scenes that don't do YouTube. People don't know who they are, but
yeah,
in the limelight, I would say you, then Rusty, for sure. Yeah.
And Scott has been around, for quite a few years.
E4,
I think 2008 or something, he started to get, back involved. But yeah, you're right. There are some old timers like Eddie Brenneschultz, E. Birdman, but he doesn't put himself out there. He's only been to 2 conventions. One was New Jersey 2 weeks ago. There's a lot of pictures of him and I together sharing stories, because we've been best friends since 1998.
Oh, wow.
And talking about Pokemon and all the stories that we have to tell. And so E. Birdman is an absolute original. He just doesn't put himself out there.
So, yeah, that's going to be said. I really wish I could make it, but now I just got to put everything I can into getting ready for this Worlds. And but I'm really hoping I get to go to the Atlanta. Matt, answer my text, please. Yeah,
Atlanta, and Steve Aoki will be performing in Atlanta, and so that's always a blast.
Yeah,
having Steve there.
Yeah. Well, I got a couple of companies that said if I can't get the all access pass, they'll find a way to get me in there. So that's pretty good.
I'll take care of your all access pass. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. I just want to be able to film. I actually already started filming some drone stuff downtown, so I can have it ready for clips. That way I can, less work. But to get back into this market scraper, what's going on? So let's get back into talking about the scanning. Okay, we had a little break there, some baseball, some old time talk. We're gonna get back into this real quick. So, what could the possible positives be to scanning a booster pack or an entire box, a case? What could the possible positives, what would you think are? I have a couple laid out, but I want to hear from you. What do you think could be some possible positives to scanning?
Well, that is a really, really tough question. What all I can think of is what using scanning would have done in the past. Well, our boy Logan would not have ended up with G.I. Joe cards inside of a case. If they were scanning cases, that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
And people that are scammers, they probably wouldn't like some of their stuff being scanned ahead of time. And you know what, Harley? I think that's it. I mean, I just can't think of anything good about it. I mean, am I surprised? Oh, absolutely not. Am I happy with the people that do it? Oh, absolutely not. Are more people going to start doing it? Absolutely. And this is the way of the world now.
Monkey see, monkey do. Sometimes it's the right thing, and
very, very much so. So it can help in some ways, but it certainly doesn't. That would be the only thing I can think of, is that it could prevent scammers from scamming. And then you have scammers scamming scammers. Well, I can't even call them scammers. They're they're just maximizing, what they can make, money wise.
Eating to eat. They eat each other.
But it hurts the kids.
Yeah,
and it destroys the possibility for those amazing memories. And yeah, so what do you think are the possible pros?
So before I do that, Kenneth Abel says, and I didn't think about this part, but it gets people talking about Pokemon again and cards in general, which that's always a very positive. That's why you have, actors, call up the paparazzi and let them know where they're going to be at, because it's always good publicity to keep the name out there. I disagree with that. I wouldn't want my name, but
that's an old Hollywood thing where no news is bad news.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I mean, I understand, and as long as they're on the cover of Inquirer and things like that, their face is out there, their name is out there. There's no news is bad news. No publicity is bad publicity. Okay, I can see that.
Yeah. So the positives that I came up with, we got MetaZoo Menace in here, and he says one of the positives would be heavy packs are going to be worth a lot more with a guaranteed holo. Imagine the value of a guaranteed Charizard. I mean, that's an obvious one. I think that's what everyone's looking at right now. We kind of know the obvious, and that is going to be scanning your pack, and you got that first edition in there. What grade it is still is going to be different, but the fact that it's in there, yes, I think that's quite obvious. It's going to definitely raise the market up. Now, the things that I wrote down, basically.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
Can I add something real fast?
Yeah.
I want to say I really like the content that MetaZoo Menace has been putting out. We don't talk a lot, but I sure enjoy his content.
Menace said, when Gary, when you win the bidding for MetaZoo, can you bring back EpicTube and make his channel the official spoiler channel?
Well, I wanted that, like Harley knows, I've wanted that from the very beginning. I wanted Harley to be, King MetaZoo.
I was trying.
You did, and that, I guess that maybe that's something for another day. But
oh, I got something in MetaZoo. I got something from MetaZoo today in the mail, but it's not the positive thing we want to see.
Is it that second letter?
Yeah. I think I'm still owed like $300 or $400. I said I knew that was probably gone, so that's fine. But what people don't understand is, before MetaZoo, I was really growing the channel. We had a lot of momentum, and I was really starting to move when I started doing the MetaZoo stuff. When I was getting sent things, right? I made the decision to go full-time do MetaZoo, because I couldn't afford to do two CGs. And when I did that, I knew going in I was gonna lose the Pokemon audience or a portion of it. But the whole plan was to try to keep as many people as possible to enjoy both. Because I love Yu-Gi-Oh too. I love doing Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon. You can love multiple things, it's just whether you can afford it or not. But you did
an excellent job with MetaZoo.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Gary. Excellent job.
I tried. I really did. But I'm now, unfortunately having the ramifications, the fallout from that is I'm basically having to start almost like brand new again in Pokemon. So I went from, I was hitting, I think 40, 50 people in streams there right before MetaZoo. And then, like I said, now that I'm back, I got to rebuild the audience up. So it's like, I'm like a newbie again. And that's the only downfall about, I think, when you make a switch to something, is you got to think about those things as a creator. But we're working our way slowly and surely. And like I said, the Pokemon thing is going to be really cool, which, by the way, I'm going to debut right now something I'm having done for Pokemon Worlds. I'm hoping creative gets it done. I'm really hoping creative gets it done in time. He hasn't messaged me back yet. He said he was going to tell me today, but it should be, hopefully they're printing it now because I need it before I leave. But let me show you all what I am going to bring with me to Worlds. I'm only going to have probably about 7. I'm having 100 printed, but I have 25 members that I want to send the card to that have been very loyal here to the channel through thick and thin. And then I have some people like you and some others I would love to give a card to. So I'm probably going to keep about 50 on the side, and I'm going to take 50 with me to hand out while at Pokemon Worlds. But I had this card designed, and I'm going to bring it. Now, it doesn't show the holo or anything to it yet. It's just the artwork. But here is my debut card, my first ever Pokemon card that I'm having made. Actually, it's not my first. It's actually my second. Drew's Customs Cards out of LA made me an OG Pokemon card of me and my whole family back in the day. In fact, I think I have that somewhere.
And by the way, Creative Hollow does a great job. I mean, he's reliable, and he does an amazing professional job.
Yeah, so I went with him because he has the ability to really print solid, good-looking cards. I'm not saying Drew doesn't do it. I'm not saying other artists don't do it. But I mean, he basically he has the 40K printer that can do the textures, the hollows that like Pokemon does. He makes them similar. You know, if anyone has ever seen your card, you know, your card looks so beautiful. To your left. There you go, right there. To your right. To your right. Right there. Yeah, look how beautiful that card is. I have yours here somewhere. It's a giant mess though. Giant mess. EpicTube HD shorts would be awesome. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. MetaZoo Manus. You got a new sub now? You got this, buddy. Yo, Vitalik, thank you so much. I appreciate that. So, yeah, I'm hoping to regrow everything now. But anyways, to get back, we're talking about the positives to X-ray scanning. So knowing what's inside, that's an obvious one. I mean, it's a positive. It is. You can say what you want. It's a positive to know what it is. It's going to increase collectors' investments. We're really talking more so the high value collectors, right? Now I have just one box myself, right? I'm not like Gary, but I got my unlimited box. Now this would be worth probably sending to them and saying, hey, what's in here, right? So there is that where, you know, it would increase that box. So right now this is valued at what, like $15,000-$16,000, which is crazy because in 2021 I had a $33,000 offer for this box from somebody in England.
Yes.
And I didn't sell it. I kept it. Because I wanted to keep it for my kids.
I remember.
Yeah, it was all because I want to keep this for my kids. I want my kids to have this. That's why it sits there. Yeah. So, you know, it'll increase the value. And every person who owns the box, like you have your case, you could open up your case, first editions, scan 6 of them, and you go, okay, 4 of them have a Charizard, 2 don't. So you know right now your case probably went even higher. You know, it's going to be, how many people are really going to be scanning modern day product for the money that they're going to want to charge? Because I think it's like, let's go to the website. Let's go to the website. Again, this is by no means, neither myself or Gary, we are not promoting or pushing anything from this company. I'm strictly using it so that we can break down what they have going on. I just want to say that so people understand. So when we come over here, whoops, I forgot. It went away. Hold on one second. Let me bring it back in here. I forgot I got off of it. I got off it earlier. Where's it at? Where's it at? Is this it? There it is right there. Okay. So This is the actual website. It's called, again, Industrial Inspection Consultants. Now, from my understanding, they put this website together pretty much overnight. Not the whole website, but the card aspect to it. So when you go here to their menu, go to services, and you can see right here, collector card CT scanning service. Now, you can see it here as you move down. They have industrial CT scanning services. There's digital X-ray, 3D scanning and meteorology, reverse engineering, 3D printing and fixture. Well, they do a lot of stuff. NDT consulting, dye, which I'm going to get into that later. Again, I did speak to a professional in this field, so we'll talk about this later. Ultrasonic testing, film and image review, magnetic, or MT, magnetic testing. But we want to look at his card collecting scans. Let's go to the site, and we scroll on down, and the first thing we have is there is an update. It was on 7/29. We are diligently reviewing social media and the feedback we received. Now, the feedback has not been very good. I know that much. I've spent the past 2 days watching countless other people's videos, reading a ton of comments between Instagram and YouTube. And yeah, the feedback is, it's not like when they talk about, what do you call it? Not flippers. What's the word I'm thinking of? Scalpers, flippers and scalpers, right? When people talk about that, you have so many people. It's like a 50-50 conversation. There's people who say, no, this has been 99% has been negative from everybody that I've seen and read. Which is
that's what I was going to say a minute ago was, is there any one person that says, hey, this is amazing, this is the nuts, I love this? No.
I did see one or two that only said pro things, nothing negative. But like I said, it was pretty much 99% negative. So they know that. They're telling us right there that they know this isn't being taken. Now, what a lot of people don't know is they had come out beforehand, before the weekend, and I guess they said they were not going to make this a live selling thing. And then over the weekend, they apparently came together, had a meeting, and realized, wait a second, we're going to miss out on this. And like you said earlier, if we don't do it, somebody else will.
And somebody else is still going to do it. And there's going to be 100 people doing it. Then they're going to have portable ones. And that
exactly,
it's a new ball game.
Yeah,
and it's sad. I'm very disappointed. But I'm not surprised, and I think that's my main point to put across today is that, this is not like an earthquake. This is no surprise at all. This was inevitable. And what's the next thing? I don't know how you can go any further than this except to judge condition, exact condition.
Yep. So they're definitely aware of it, but they made that decision, and then they rolled this out, like, I guess a day after. And the reason we know this is because of the communication that they had with Rattle. So we know that because he showed his communications yesterday. So if you guys want to check out Rattle Pokemon's video that he dropped yesterday, he literally shows the notes between them, the email exchange of what kind of went on. So you have a storyline now you can follow. But they definitely realized, don't pass up on the opportunity, okay? So I get that. First, we made public what's been happening in secret. Now we are bringing X-ray vision to the masses. Quickly, affordable, reliable. Now, I'm not sure. I mean, they're the first ones, so I guess they set the price. Now you can decide what reliable or affordable and reliable will be based on what they're offering, right? How does it work? And here they're showing you a Jordan. Now, this is a newer version. Would the 84 Fleer Jordan 86, sorry, 86 Fleer, would that be scannable? I don't think it would, because I think they used straight paper back then, didn't they?
Right, yes.
So they wouldn't be able to, as far as we're aware, they wouldn't be able to get it. But they later show images that, I don't know, they seem to be fine-tuning this more and more.
Right.
And as we continue to move down, now they give us their pricing. So for 1 to 5 packs, they want to charge $75.
Uh-huh.
So if you got a Neo, or let's not even go Neo, let's go Skyridge or Expedition,
uh-huh,
and you want to scan it, $75.
Right.
You know, Crystal Charizard. What did you just, you know what I mean? Like, it is tempting for someone who might do that, who's already weighed the pack out, knows it's a heavy, now takes this next step. So there is that incentive for $75 to turn your investment into what? I don't know what a Crystal Charizard is at right now, but I would imagine a 9 or a 10's got to be up there.
Yes. That's a good point, Harley. Yeah, because people are going to weigh them out first and only send in the heavies. Yeah, that's true. I didn't really think about that.
Oh, yeah. And then their price goes down the more you send to them. But they're only talking about packs at this point, not full boxes of product. Box scanning is to be announced. They still haven't decided, I guess, on box scanning. It says under review.
Yeah, but they have done it, and it works.
Yeah, there's video of them doing it, yeah. And then there's, I don't really understand, high-speed USB for the potato internets. I'm not really sure where they're going with that one. That's a weird, bit of a weird.
No idea what that means. Does anybody in the chat know what that means?
Well, they're definitely talking about the data transfer. In other words, basically how you would pay PSA to have your card overnighted. I kind of think that's what they're talking about. You know, if you want it done fast, boom, and then yeah, Hello Brooklyn said it. They'll put your files on a USB.
Yeah, I think I heard that.
Yeah. So
and it's just where you can bring it right up and
quicker service, so you know what's going on. And then again, they talk about all this other stuff in here. They talk about, I'm not going to read it all. It's just, there's a lot of stuff they're trying to sell you on, you know, the requirements that you have to have in order to receive their information, how it all works, what they're capturing. You know, is there a guarantee in here? I don't know. But as we move down, now we can see they have their images that they're showcasing, how they're able to do it, you know, seeing the Charizard itself. They're getting the outline of the card, the hollows popping off, the name, the darkness of the black name on there. They're able to tell.
Right.
And then here they're showing.
Are you showing that? Are you showing that letter right now?
Yeah, I'm showing. Oh, can you not see the website, Gary?
No, I only see you and me. So.
Oh, okay.
But that's okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so
I've seen it.
To your left is, I have us small. We're two little small boxes, and on the left-hand side I have the website, and I'm scrolling down the website. I'm sorry, Gary, I didn't know you couldn't see it. My bad. Yeah. I'm sure there's a way you can pull it up, but I can't remember how to do it on the iPad. Sorry.
Right, so, that's okay. Just so I can see your pretty face.
Yeah. So yeah, so we basically are looking at their website, and now we're looking at the Twilight Masquerade booster box, the scan that they did, and it shows how the scan worked. And as I scroll down, they're showing the corner of a box and how it breaks apart individual packs, and then it breaks apart the individual cards. If you can't download and have a shitty setup, it's stock picker service. Yeah, definitely. They're showing newer cards, a Zapdos, how they're able to see that. See, this is where it gets scary. This is a Zapdos that is a non-holo, and they're able to make it out.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they're able to make out a non-holo Zapdos here.
Which means they can make out every single card in the pack or the box.
Yes. Now, it's very faint.
Yeah.
But they can match it up. You would definitely need somebody with very, very well-known knowledge of Pokemon cards and artworks to probably be able to, because otherwise, yeah, this could take forever for someone, because apparently these people are not even card collectors. They have nothing to do with any of this stuff.
Right.
So you would definitely need to pay somebody with that knowledge of being able to spot right away a simple outline.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're looking at a Zapdos that is not a holo. Then we go down to the VMAX cards. They're able to see a lot of detail on a Garbodor VMAX.
Oh boy.
Lot of detail there. They can actually see. They're showing sports cards, how it's all lined up, putting full boxes in. Those look like blasters. Signatures. They're showing how they can spot the signature on a card. Oh yeah, they're able to get it all. There's a Shaquille O'Neal rookie card from NBA Hoops. It looks like. I don't know if it's exactly rookie, but yeah, we're able to see a lot. There's a Ken Griffey Jr. card from Leaf, but it's showing a lot. Now we're looking at Yu-Gi-Oh. They can actually see the name of the card in Yu-Gi-Oh. They can see the title name.
Yeah, because that was in foil.
Yep. One Piece. There's your mangas. They're gonna be able to spot your mangas, and it looks like Bandai is the worst. Bandai, they can really see a lot of detail on their cards. But for Lorcana, and this is why everyone goes, why don't you get into Lorcana? Why don't you get into Lorcana? I'm like, I love Disney, but their cards it's just something about them aren't doing it for me. I don't know what it is. I like Disney. I like to open it. It's fun, but it's just not getting me, right? And I kind of feel like this scan is like my reason why, because the cards are just so dark and the holo that their scanner's not picking it up. So they're having a difficult time picking up Lorcana. And then of course, Magic the Gathering, they're having a difficult time as well.
But they'll improve that.
Yeah. They will. They'll do it. They give you reader's notes, facts and conditions. Yeah. They're showing case studies now. They're showing multiple cards that they've done. Yeah, they're showing a lot. I mean, they've got more than enough evidence of showing how they're figuring this out and all the way they're using it. An Alakazam card, very easily spottable. Yeah. It gives a lot.
Can one of our followers do me a favor and get a pack, and when they go in for an x-ray of their stomach, tape it to their stomach and go into the x-ray and tell me what they see. See if that works. In fact, can somebody make me a meme of that? Of somebody going into the x-ray donut with a pack taped to their stomach and send it to me.
Yeah, Menace. Yeah, well, I am going to the doctor. I have to have 2 scans done. I think I might do that. You gave me an idea.
Yeah, we'll do that for fun.
Menace says, wait for the day. Okay, I'm not gonna say it out loud yet, Menace, because this is actually on my notes. Your what you just said is on my notes that we're gonna discuss, because that is part of the negatives. Part of the negatives of the scanning. So my last my last bit of positive that you could call a positive to this would be basically you're removing the gambling aspect. So there's not you're taking away the not knowing what you're getting. I guess that kind of coincides with knowing what's inside, but it does, there's people who don't like to gamble and they hate that part. And so it removes that. You could call that a positive to somebody. Short and long-term financial gains for people, some people, not everyone. People who don't really care about the hobby, they just want to make $1 and leave. Yes, that's a positive. Again, these aren't positives I like. I'm just saying they can be attached to this to some degree. And then
they can be construed as positives.
Yeah. And then the last positive is actually a really good positive. The one thing that they have been able to pick up on is real and fake. So they have been able to pick up real and fake cards. So they would know if a card has been altered, they would see that and say, our imaging does not compare to what the real image shows. We believe this to be a fake card. So that is the really one true positive of it. I mean, that you could say, okay, so that's the one. Now, as far as negatives go.
Well, wait, besides knowing that the right thing is inside, like the G.I. Joe packs, that kind of goes along with that altered or is the right thing inside. Yeah. Because a lot of the times it's not, right?
Yep, exactly. So now this brings up the negatives.
I'll be right back. Yeah, go ahead. I have to grab a water.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I load my desk up with drinks before I stream. Right. So I've been reading everybody's comments. Again, thank you guys for popping in. I see we keep going up and down in the numbers. We're a little bit all over the place. You got two guys who love to talk hobby. I'm sorry, everybody. But I am reading all of your guys' comments. I'm trying to hold off on a few of them, Menace, just because they kind of coincide with what I have written down. So the negatives really outweigh everything here. I mean, for one, the biggest negative to this is going to be it could really crash this entire hobby, because you have so many people that have made collecting sealed product a huge part of their collection. Now, whether they do it because they just want to collect it, they do it for investment purposes that, maybe later on they want to sell it. They, like me, who does it for my kids. So when my kids get to our age and we don't go, man, I wish when I was younger, I had saved some of that stuff. That's the route that I've been taking, is that when my kids get older and they want to look back and they want to reminisce, I'll have the product here and I'll let them do what they want. They can open it, they can sell it, but there's just different ways about it that makes it, I've had to sell some of my items. I've had to sell items to pay for, like, MetaZoo wasn't paying for my trips. I was trying to get MetaZoo to pay for my trips. He wouldn't do it. So I had to pay for those myself. And I sold product that I had to pay for that. So I'm just, I'm reinvesting into what I'm doing is all I'm doing, right? So all that market's going to crash. It will crash. Because what happens, it's going to start at the top. Yeah, someone like me isn't going to be doing this. And don't take this the wrong way, Gary, but someone like at your level who has as much vintage and very valuable items as you do, they're going to be taking advantage of it because it's going to benefit them. And that's great for them. But that trickle down effect is going to start happening from that, in terms of, okay, well, we just had Gary in here and he offered us his unlimited box, but his box has been scanned. He has a piece of paper and it shows what's in there. And, yours isn't. So we paid Gary $30 for his box, but we're not going to pay you that because we don't know what's in there. We'll give you $15 for yours. And that's kind of like how it'll go. You know what I mean?
Can I chime in with something?
Oh, of course. Yeah, chime in all you want.
Just yesterday, I was talking to Steve Aoki, and him and I have a Green Wing base box. And, you know, with all the scanning stuff that's going on, you know, we were discussing, and we own it together. And we were discussing what we should do with that box now with these things going on. And so it looks like what we're going to do, obviously not scanned yet. Obviously, what we're going to do is sign it. I'll sign it. He'll sign it. And then Steve wants to let it go, you know, send it to Golden to auction off. So that's all as the effect of the scanning scandal, I guess you can call it, because he doesn't want to hold on to it anymore because of that. So, well, what does that tell you?
Yeah, putting things on the market now, and now what's going to happen is it's going to trickle down to other people who think the same way. And I've already seen videos of people saying it, that they're talking about maybe offloading their sealed collections now and getting what they can out of them. Because again, yeah, because you're going to create an incentive over time, not in the short term, but in the long term. There's going to be that incentive there that if an LGS, a booth at Collecticon, a booth at Nationals, wherever you are, you're going to be competing against people who chose to get it done. Mm-hmm. And, you know, they're going to get the value out of their box as much as they can. And for everybody else that didn't do it, you're going to lose a lot. You're going to take a big hit on it. And right. So again, there's that whole short-term, long-term effect of how this is all going to play out. Because in the short term, yeah, you're going to make some good money. You're going to do well. But in the long term, it's going to crash the hobby. The problem is you do have people that aren't in the hobby to be in the hobby. They're here strictly because it's a lucrative thing now. And that, again, you can't deny, you know, you can't deny what's reality. And that is, you know, I always get into this big argument with people. They always want to blame either you or Logan Paul. They want to blame you guys for like the prices. But I said, no, they are not, they have nothing to do with that. Yes, they're bigger names, of course. They've opened big stuff, but they're not. If you go back a few years, there's a guy that I used to watch years ago, because, you know, I'm real big into wine. I actually wanted to open my own store up. I used to go to Europe, spend a lot of, my wife and I really wanted to open my own wine store. I got a bunch of wine books over here. I'm really into that. And I started watching this crazy lunatic guy on YouTube who did wine tastings, but he did it like us, like a normal, I don't know, they use the word pleb, right? A normal pleb. He wasn't one of these people like, this is a beautiful wine, and you know, real smooth. He was really like a sports guy drinking wine, and his name was Gary Vaynerchuk. And
Gary V.
I told everybody, I said, you guys got to understand what's going on. Gary Vaynerchuk started getting into sports cards back in 2015 and 16.
Yes, he did.
And he started really pushing a lot of people into that era, because he's talked about the money you can make from sports cards. And then he brought in Pokemon into that equation. And this was around the same time I think you did your episode, but I want to say it was before the Pawn Stars episode. I want to say that.
We filmed that in summer of 2016.
Yeah, I was thinking.
And it aired, I think, January 2017.
Yeah, I wanted to say 15 or 16 is when you did that. And Gary came out before that. And I used to have, there's video, and he has a lot of social media. You can go back and look. But he was starting to push Pokemon cards back then to his big following of collectors who, you know, they look to buy the high-end cards and, you know, flip them and even, you know, I think what happened to a lot of people was that once they started getting their hands on these cards, a lot of people didn't let them go because, you know, it's easy to go, yeah, let's just do this. But when you go, wait a second, when I was a kid, I had this card. I don't want to let this go now. And I think that happened a lot with a lot of people. I saw a lot of stuff back then about it. But I do remember that. So I'm very curious. I wonder what Gary V's stance is going to be on this whole scanning thing, you know?
Well, you know, he's mainly interested. It depends what side he lands on, you know? If he had a ton of boxes, he won't be happy. If he's you know, looking to benefit, then he's going to be happy. So, you know, Gary is very, very much. He's not a collector like us. He's not a, you know, well, whatever benefits him is the side he's going to land on. I think you and I can be honest. Come here. I think you and I can be honest, and you know, whether it benefits us or not.
Akara!
Say hi.
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 Did you get a haircut? Wow, look at that haircut.
It is Pidgeotto.
Pidgeotto. She has a Pidgeotto here.
Oh, that's super cool. Super cool.
By Pidgeot and Pidgey.
Pidgey and Pidgeot. She wants.
Yes.
Buy it.
She wants to buy it. You want to buy it?
You want those?
Say bye, Harley.
Bye, Holly.
Bye. It's good seeing you. Yeah, it's, you know, because I saw Rudy came out.
Close the door.
You know, I saw Rudy came out, and he doesn't seem too happy about it. And if you see Rudy upset, a man who has like 2 warehouses, like
full of boxes.
Yeah, he's definitely, I saw that video and I was like, oh, this is, you can tell when it's satire Rudy, sarcastic Rudy, or when it's serious Rudy. Because when he's serious, he's not funny.
Right.
He has to remember to throw it in, but he goes these long. but basically, the negative to this thing is really going to be crashing the market, and I don't think there's nothing else you could say that really is going to hurt that. It's just going to hurt so many people. You know, there was another thing when I was telling you about. I made that video. I made that response video to OK J Love and talking about the investors. You know, Ryan's Card House and Pokey Rev and all those guys, they were all involved in that video. And Ryan had said later in a live stream that I was watching, they had done a live stream after that point. And he said, I've seen people that you guys have no idea who they are, of warehouses beyond full of product that you can't even imagine. Just because, you know, you haven't seen it doesn't mean it's not there. There's people who've literally just taken pallets of stuff and stored it away. And you got to remember that. And that's a huge thing right there. Again,
can I ask you something, Harley?
Yeah.
Who does this benefit?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's not going to benefit anybody because it's going to hurt players when players can't play the game anymore because everybody has the card, right? You know, they got to figure that out. You know, when every player can have every single card now. Now, granted, you have a buffer zone. There are people who can buy cards that others can't. That makes their deck stronger.
Right.
Right? So you have a little buffer zone there. So there is some competition there for these people still where, you know, some are relying to pull cards, some aren't. So you're going to have the Pokemon player base is going to get hurt by this. Every person who holds sealed product, whether it's a booster pack or a character box or a booster box or a case of Pokemon, of Yu-Gi-Oh, of Konami, whatever, right?
Yes.
Topps, Panini. Yeah, all those people will be hurt by this. How much they're going to be hurt, we don't know. It could be very minimal. This could all go down in flames. This could all fall down and go away. Nothing could come from this. This could just be a hype that lived for the short minute of time, and we all take a big, deep breath and say, wow, that was a close one. Or it happens, and like you said, the domino effect is going to start. We have 2 companies, 4 companies, 8 companies, 12, and so on and so forth. 75 becomes 45, 45 becomes 10. Competing with PSA now for slabs, you know?
So you're thinking that you're saying this does not benefit anybody except the companies doing the scanning.
Well, no, it's going to benefit whoever decides to use it.
And it's not going to benefit those who don't.
Those who don't use it will not benefit, in my opinion.
Right.
I just can't see how they would benefit. Because here's the trickle down effect again. This is the second part I was going to get into. What can the companies do to try and stop this if they want to? We don't know if they want to. But if they try, I already talked to the professional on this. There's only one method that can work, but it's going to raise prices of cards. People are already upset.
Problem.
People are already, they're paying $5 for a Pokemon pack. You're paying $5 for Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't matter what you are. Sports cards, a blaster box is like $30. You're paying a lot of money for this already. People are already upset at prices. If a company has to do something to prevent this scanning from happening, prices are going to go up.
Yeah.
So that's why it's an effect.
The ones who support the hobby are going to pay the price. And the ones who don't necessarily support, they're the ones who are going to benefit. It's not going to help me. It's not going to help you. It's not going to help, any true collector or true enthusiast. It's not going to be a good thing to any of us. But again, it was inevitable, and it's going to get even worse. So adjust. We all have to adjust somehow. Steve wants to sell that box that we have. I don't want to sell any of my boxes. You don't want to sell yours. You see? Yeah. Although you would probably benefit if you did. If you used it,
100%.
you'd probably benefit. But you still don't want to do it because you're a true enthusiast and collector. So it's not going to help you. It's probably going to hurt you.
Yeah. And I think that's how it'll ultimately hurt everybody. Because like I said, the only way that it truly can be stopped. I hear do you have something on your mic? I hear like a tapping sound on your mic. Is that me or?
I can't hear anything.
I think it's coming from your mic. There's like it's a weird sound. It sounds like horses running. It sounds like there's a giant, you got a ranch outside your window, you can hear the horses running through.
I don't.
So, but yeah, again,
can the chat hear it?
I don't know if they can. Maybe hopefully they can't, but I can hear the wind, says Hello Brooklyn. But yeah, it's
if it hears the wind, it might be this.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah, it's gone now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we can hear
it. Maybe because it was sitting on the table, the same table.
Yeah, we could hear it. It sounded like horses were running. or your stomach is grumbling, like Hello Brooklyn said.
Okay.
But ultimately, yeah, so the negatives to this X-raying, again, it's taking away the experience of the unknown,
Yeah.
It's taking away that. Again, short and long-term negative impacts It's going to be on the whole hobby, because once people have to start adjusting, like you said, adjusting can be done in many ways. Selling the box, a greenween box, because you're too scared now to hang on to it. Paying $7 to $8 for a pack of Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon One Piece cards because they had to up, they upped their price in manufacturing. There's so many negatives to it that you can go on for days talking about the negatives, for sure.
Right.
And I think, again, but the ultimate is, I think in whole, it will collapse the whole hobby, because again, there's nobody here that might say it, but we all know it. It's just like, somebody cut a pack of, recently, a LGS whatnot streamer cut a base set pack in half, and they were called out on it. Now, there was a lot of people that said there was no problem with that, and there was a lot of people who said there were. But the point is, there are always people that want to see the pack get cut, and you're going to have people who are going to want to get their stuff scanned, because at the end of the day, money talks, and that's the way it is. I don't know.
They're doing it to get views. So is that a good enough reason?
Well, there's
not
that.
For me,
yeah,
but,
yeah. The views part is a big aspect to it.
yeah.
And then basically, it's going to be very cost prohibitive at the end of the day. But let me tell you one last thing about this, and that is, well, not one last thing. I got just a couple more last things here. But how will LGSs deal with this?
Boy, they have such a hard time anyway.
Yeah.
And yet I would say a big majority of their sales are probably packs and not single cards, because of the mystery. And
yep.
I mean, I would love to see if Ivy, I don't know if Ivy is still in the chat, but I'm IVR, whose new store here in Las Vegas is Trading Card Garage. I wonder what she has to say about it in that, because I know the majority of the sales are going to be packs over singles. And
yeah,
doesn't it have to hurt?
Yeah,
doesn't, and LGSs can't afford it. So I'm very disappointed and very sad for them. Now, Are they going to be able to do something about it? I think they're going to have to figure out something, because that's taking a big bite out of their small margins.
Because you also have to think about the distributors.
Yeah, right.
Will the distributors see this as saying, let's get into this and start scanning and figuring this stuff out? We'll separate. Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is a wormhole. This is a huge wormhole. I mean, and I say that with confidence because of this. So I don't know how many people know this, but MJ Holdings, which for those that don't know, is a third-party distributor to the box stores, mainly Walmart. I hear in some parts out west they do Target as well, but as far as I know, out here in the East Coast, they're pretty much strictly Walmart. But I have been told that, they have they have a subsidiary account that runs as a TCG store on Walmart's platform.
Oh boy.
And so, obviously they can get product. They can post their product up there first, especially when it's a hot new set coming out and everybody wants it, and, get their money. And then the rest, they send it out to their distribution facilities, which then take it to the stores. So there's already an issue with some mistrust going on in that world. So can you just, with this X-ray stuff, just imagine you're ordering $30,000 worth of product from your distributor, and you know, they're like, well, we don't have any more of this box in. Meanwhile, they'll post it up on the thing. Well, this is a different box. This is something different. You have to pay 2 times the price for these. You know, I mean, like I said,
Right.
it sounds far-fetched, and it might be for now.
But does it?
You know,
I'm not so sure. I can see them doing something like that.
yeah. And you know, there's Excel. Excel's the other major big box store distributor that does Targets mainly. And I'm not even talking about the distributors that most LGSs deal with, like Southern Hobby or, you know, the other ones out there. It's just, the wormhole just got so much bigger because you just can't put past anything. You can't put past anything past anyone, you know?
Yes.
Just don't know what they do, because their margin could go from being so slim now to being huge.
Yes.
And they're in business to make money. We all know that. At the end of the day, that's what they're there for. And it's I think that's the other real big aspect to this that people have to realize. And hopefully these people who are running this company, you know, maybe they hear the stream and they hear things we're talking about that they didn't think of. I don't know. Again, for some people, it doesn't matter. Money means everything. That's all that matters to them, and they go for it. And that's, again, I don't have a problem with anybody who wants to think that way. You do you, I'll do myself. And like you said, the key word is you have to adapt. And I know people don't like that. Everyone hates when you have to adapt to something. Sometimes adapt means you got to quit the hobby.
Yeah. Or adjust.
Adjust. And that's the worst. That's the part none of us want to do, you know?
So yeah, some people will just throw their arms in the air and say, I'm done with this. And that's sad.
It happened in 2020, 2021, when you couldn't get product from any LGS. There was no product coming in. All the big box stores where you're getting all the reseller, flipper, scammer, whatever you want to call those people, they were in there fighting over to get all the product to turn around and sell it to you as soon as they get out the front door at double the price. People were walking away. I'm done with the hobby. So that is definitely, I said, another huge factor to think about when it comes to this thing. But let me give you a little info from my friend. Again, he's a professional in the industry, in the radiation industry, who has a lot of experience dealing with this stuff. And one second,
this is great information too.
Texas Ted says, I got to run now. Have a great evening, all. If you haven't seen the headlines, cheer on Team USA, team gymnastics tonight. Yeah. So
yeah, problem is I already know the results.
Oh.
I won't say anything. Don't say anything.
Oh, it's 7:30. Yeah. It's done already.
It's done already.
So
but I won't say anything because that's an exciting thing for people to watch.
Definitely. The distribution is always rigged. It's been rigged from the start, says Hello Brooklyn. Yeah. So my friend, again, who's an expert, he is a legitimate expert in the field. Basically what he told me is there's nothing that's going to stop the scan. Tin foil does not stop scanning. Yeah. He said that, you know, people who are trying to move stuff, if you know what I'm talking about, stuff that's not legal, they've tried it all. And they can't, it can all be scanned. What we could do, what the companies, what Pokemon, Konami and Bandai and Topps and Panini and Fanatics and whoever makes a sealed product of a trading card, the only thing you could possibly do, from what my friend is saying, is one of two things. Have a special dye inside the pack that when they get scanned by the radiation, it'll cause that pack to change color.
Oh.
And then you would know that the pack has been scanned. And that would be the only way you could legitimately do it. There's no way of preventing a CT scan, because, you know, an X-ray and a CT are the same thing. It's just that a CT scanner, it just pumps out a lot more radiation to get a more sound and accurate scan. But they're the exact same thing. So they can pump through anything and get what they want from it. So you can't stop it in that realm. But what you could do is create some form of way of changing colors. You know, like when you take like a heat gun to a car or a metal and you heat it up and it starts looking that weird that it like looks like it's like changing colors like a rainbow. You know what I'm talking about, Gary?
Yes, I do.
I forgot what that's called. So you can kind of do that to a pack art or maybe box art. You'd have to change from cardboard into something else though for that. But you could possibly do it where when the X-ray hits it, it may cause a chemical reaction that would change the look, like a sun-faded look to the pack. That's the only thing he said that he thinks could possibly prevent it. But now, again, we go back to what we talked about earlier. That is probably going to raise the cost of them manufacturing the pack.
Right. It will, and the end user will pay the price.
Yeah, oxidation. It'll be oxidation, basically. It's a chemical reaction that the X-ray would cause. And he said that's really the way you're going to do it. Otherwise, nothing's going to stop. Nothing's going to stop it. Now, what he didn't know was, he was quite surprised when I told him that a non-hollow card was scanned. He said, I don't see how they could do it. I said, well, they got evidence that they've scanned a non-hollow card and we're still able. So, because at first he was like, well, the 86, Jordan Fleer, it can't be scanned. He goes, the only other way you would fix this problem is for every company to go back to basics. No more hollows.
Right. But if they couldn't, even if they couldn't do it now, they will be able to later. And nobody is going to be surprised.
Yeah. And that's pretty much it. And then, of course, you could go into something that I definitely don't want to talk about, and I don't think any of us really want to hear. Government regulating type of stuff. We don't want really. You don't need the government regulating the TCG.
Pokemon.
Yeah, we don't need that stuff. But my friend did make an interesting point. He did say that it would be considered a form of gambling, which could fall into a form of government regulation, because we know gambling is regulated in most states.
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't understand. I didn't get a chance to really go more in depth with him on that. But he did say something about, because it could be called gambling with the boxes or something, it could possibly fall into some type of gambling issue, which would then fall into a government regulation. But again, that's not something I think nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that word.
And I'm not so sure it's true, because gambling, nothing about this is gambling. Not doing it is gambling.
Yeah. See, I was kind of thinking
scanning is the opposite of gambling. You get the end result information.
Yeah. I gotta ask him more on that for sure.
Yeah.
What he meant.
Yeah, I was in the gambling business for 30 years, so yeah. I'm pretty familiar with all that.
Yeah, being in the old South China Sea there.
Yeah, and for years before that, Sahara Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, and
which
all the way to Vietnam. Yeah.
How do you feel seeing the Tropicana? The Tropicana is the one hotel that I never stayed at on the Strip.
Yeah,
I was an
I know.
MGM guy.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's to build our stadium, another stadium, and that's progress. And the trop was pretty, pretty worn down. We actually had a store inside the trop, an ex-wife and me years ago, and yeah. So anyway, I'm more likely to attend the baseball games than I would have been going into the trop. So.
Yeah, I remember because we actually took our family vacations for about 4 years to Mandalay Bay.
Oh, okay.
Simply, it's got the wave pool, it's got a beautiful lazy river, it's just got all kinds of fun stuff to do for kids, because they have made Vegas more kid friendly over the past 20 I'd say 24 years. For sure.
Yeah.
They've made it more kid friendly.
And so it's close to the Luxor and next to the Luxor, close to the Excalibur, where there's a lot of kid friendly things to do.
Yeah. Especially with the Excalibur Hotel. Yeah. I remember Pete Rose, there's a memorabilia shop in that section that goes from the Mandalay Bay to the Luxor. It goes over the highway there. And there's all those retail shops in there, and there was a sports store in there, and I remember Pete Rose was there every year. We would go to Vegas. Plus, I used to hop on the flights and standby, and I'd take the red eye, get in at 11 o'clock, 11:30 at night.
Right.
Take the shuttle over to one of the hotels there, and I'd gamble till about 6 in the morning. And then I'd come back to the airport, hop on the flight, and go back home again. And so, yeah, I was doing that for a little while there. And I just remember Pete Rose was like a fixture at that memorabilia store there, between that again, the Mandalay Bay and the Luxor, where they have that long corridor that went over over the roadway there. And I remember meeting him a bunch of times. I think one time there was a pizza place right across, and I bought him a pizza. He was buying. They had nobody wanted his auto. Sat there forever. Nobody did anything. I was so blown away because growing up, I grew up in Detroit as a Tigers fan, and I grew up as a baseball fan originally, hockey and baseball. So of course, I knew Pete Rose to me was just the biggest thing, and I don't get excited over celebrities though, because being in the acting industry, I don't look at people that way. And being a former athlete, I just don't see it. But seeing Pete Rose that first time, I got a little excited. I was like, wow, that's Pete Rose. That's pretty cool. Then I saw him all the time, like, hey, Pete. And every time I would see him, because he was a fixture at that memorabilia place. Like, I guess he lives in Vegas maybe, and I guess that's just the way he would go there to make money every day or something. I don't know.
And he belongs in the Hall of Fame.
I agree. So. And
you like hockey too, huh?
Well, yeah. Well, I told you I was a professional hockey player.
Right.
Semi-pro. Yes. I didn't make it to the NHL, but I did play semi-pro. Yeah. Right. In fact, I played on the team that Wayne Gretzky first played on.
Oh, okay.
The Indianapolis Ice.
Oh, okay.
The Indianapolis Ice. Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yep. I know a lot of people. I don't talk about that stuff too often, but it is an interesting thing. Yeah. I'm like, I didn't get drafted. I think I got hurt. I'm the typical guy who says, I got hurt and my career ended. So,
right. That's not an unusual story. Happen way too often.
Happens a lot of guys, man. Yeah. So many guys. Right. But anyways, that is our X-ray discussion. Went off topic a few times. Sorry, guys.
Well,
Gary.
Yeah, you and I haven't talked for a little while, so it was fun to catch up. And I hope the people enjoyed some of the stories and that. And I hope they put comments down below on exactly how do they feel about what we discussed. And because that's what really matters. What really matters is how they feel. And I'd love to read that. I will read every single one.
Yeah, there's again a lot of the comments. MetaZoo Menace was really tapping into a lot of stuff that we were kind of talking about.
Yeah.
You know, he has a question for you actually. I have a question for the king.
Yeah.
What would happen to Pokemon if they spent the next year only making sets with Gen 9 Pokemon and no Gen 1 or 2 Pokemon making cameos to be chase cards?
Yeah, I love that. I love the cameos and stuff because I think it helps to educate the historical side of the hobby, you know, with the newer kids and all that. So I mean, I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't like that to occur. And if they did it, I think it would hurt a little bit. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I don't, you know, I love Pokemon. I love the art. I get very excited with things. I think some of this particular expansion, the Scarlet and Violet expansion, Pokemon are a little bit out there for me. A little bit out there. So I've had a little harder time, you know, I guess adapting to these Pokemon. So for me, still seeing the Gen 1s and 2s, even 3, 4, 5, the ones that have been around for a lot of years now, I think you got to have them in there to a degree. You know, it needs to be. I would like to see Pokemon Go get a little bit more creative with adding new Pokemon.
Yes.
You know, now that so with this invite to Pokemon Worlds, we have a content creator chat with Pokemon Company, and there's, you know, a plethora of really epic creators in this chat. You have you know, the TCG people, video games, plushies, Pokemon Go, cosplayers. There's just this whole, you know, but different style of people who do different things, and it's been so fun seeing how everybody talks and interacts and stuff. So it's kind of neat to see everybody come together and, you know, bond over this thing, which is basically, you know, a world of all these weird animals and insects and things like that, and they got to keep creating new ones over and over and over, and it's very interesting. I said one thing I loved about MetaZoo, it was such a throwback, you know, and I know Mike made MetaZoo based a lot on Pokemon. I know it's not a secret. He talked about it a million times, but it was just, that's what really caught it. You know, it hurts me to this day that it's not, you know, things went the way they did. I really wish they didn't. It really sucks.
Me too.
It
And
really sucks.
I hope something, you know, I know something was supposed to happen. They were supposed to cut off, you know, for the bankruptcy, for the number 7 bankruptcy. They were supposed to cut that off as of yesterday, the 29th or something. And then they were going to break it down to the 5 top offers, and I'd really like to know what's going on with that. I was asked, to be fair. In fact, I was probably asked by a dozen different people to participate, but that's work. And I'm 70 years old now, and I'm not going to go back to work. So I turned everybody down, but that doesn't mean I'm not pulling for it. I mean, I would love to see that, you know, continue. So maybe it will. I think it deserves it. The MetaZoo and the community deserves that. You know, deserves it to take off again, and I certainly hope that it will. You know, under good management, and, you know, we'll see. You know, we'll see. I sure hope so, because I love the concept. Always have.
Concept was great. Was great. There's
Mhm.
there's no debate.
Yeah.
The idea, the concept, everything that was
Yeah.
done was really good, and that's why it took off. Again,
Right.
it's just all the other things that happened, and you
Yeah.
know, I really liked Mike a lot. I stuck up for Mike a lot. I put my neck out there a lot of times to people, and it just sucks, like I said, how it all came down.
Yeah.
My biggest thing to Mike was he really needed to come out more. You know, he wasn't at the Pokemon level where you're behind the scenes and don't ever get seen like the CEO of Pokemon Company or Game Freaks. You know what I mean? He was still at that level where he needs to be interactive a lot, and it just, I saw early on something that was just not there, that he seemed, I don't know what happened. He started disconnecting more and more from the community and everybody in the community. And I did my best to keep him in the eye. I did. I asked him, you know, let's go live. We did it. Again, I had bad live streams. That's my fault. The dumpster fired with the old computer that I should have fixed. And I was very stubborn and not using my iPad or my phone, you know, when I probably should have. But I really did try to get him to be more out in the open and be with the people who want to help you make this into something great. And it just really sucked that it turned out the way it did. And I don't, you know, I hate the fact that things happen the way they are. And like I said, it sucks because I poured my whole life into it. And I tell people all the time, they don't understand.
You did.
I don't have a Shining Charizard anymore. My Shining Charizard, I sold it to go to, I think I sold it to go to New York City for Earth Tower.
Oh, okay.
My first edition Dark Charizard that Leonhardt got me, I sold that to pay to go to, I think it was Ohio, to Cincinnati. You know, because, you know, people don't know my financial situation. I know I look like all this stuff, but we're not always as, you know, we go through things in life and things happen, and, you know, I'm not where I would have loved to have been in my life financially. So in order to do something, I can't really take it out of my current budget to do it. I need to find another way to supplement it. And so
you had to sacrifice one thing for another.
Yeah. So I lost a lot of my Pokemon collection that I personally got for myself, not for my kids, but for me. I gave it all up. And, you know, I tell everybody this story. And Andy, who I'm not a big fan of, which I've made that known now, I felt like he was really treating me like very badly, and I hated that. I know everybody says it was him being him, but I felt like I was just being treated badly for what I was doing. But he inspired me. You know, he told the story of what happened is, what people don't know is Andy and Afton were together.
Right.
Afton lives here in Atlanta, Georgia. Andy lives in Washington, D.C. But he was always here in Atlanta to be with his girlfriend.
Right.
And they went to a card shop here in Georgia called Breaking Bangers.
Okay.
Beautiful card shop. Very unfortunately, the owner was in an auto accident about I think less than a year ago, and he lost his life. They're still going, but it's a great card shop. It's like an hour north of Atlanta. It's out in the middle of kind of nowhere. But when I was there to film Afton one time, I saw all these Shining Charizards and Gold Stars, all these high-end Charizards, PSA 1s, lots of them, and 2s. And I'm like, what in the world? How do you guys have all this? And he goes, I'll tell you, but you can't say anything. I was like, what? He goes, yeah, Andy sold us all that stuff so he could fund his MetaZoo, do the MetaZoo thing. And I was like, wow, really? because people don't know, but Andy was so big in Pokemon. You know,
Yeah.
Andy's told me a million times, you know, he's been out to dinner with Arita and the CEO of Pokemon, and he was a high-level player and all these things, right?
He was.
So, yeah, and so that's how he has all that stuff.
Uh-huh.
And I got inspired by that. I'm like, you know, if he can do that, I can. When I want to make this happen, I want to be the number one creator in MetaZoo. I want people to come to me or watch my videos and be excited for what's new and what's happening and get it, you know, and just be a part of it. That's all I wanted from it. And
Yeah, you figure if he had that kind of confidence in it, then why that would just increase your confidence and everybody else's.
Oh yeah.
But I've known Andy. I've known Andy for years before MetaZoo through E4 and PokeGym. And yeah, no, he's a major Pokemon fan. Although we were never close, you know, still we, you know, certainly knew each other for all those years through, you know, mainly through PokeGym and E4.
Yeah, I would go into E4, but I never spoke. I'm glad you fixed that, says Brooklyn. Yeah, I never spoke in there, but I would always go in and just read the comments, you know, because it's knowledge.
Yeah.
Knowledge, reading what other people say.
A lot of knowledge there.
Yeah.
That's true. A lot of information.
But I was inspired. I was inspired to make the, you know, again, I knew I needed to make these things happen if I wanted to get to where I wanted to be.
Right.
And I even put off, you know, my acting career. I actually, you know, I wasn't putting in the work I really put a lot of things off. I put my house. My wife is listening. Yeah, I put off doing things around the house that I probably should have done. I just was focusing and putting so much energy because I felt that this was my time. I felt it was my time, my moment to take to try and grow this into something really cool and epic. And so yeah, I really put everything into it. And like I said, now I'm sitting here, you know, I went from having 50, 60, 70, even 100 people at one point into our streams. I'm back down to having 10, 20 people in here and starting over. Plus, I get YouTube hits me as a freaking kids channel, I feel like every 3 months.
Really?
Yeah. When they turn your comments off, that means that the algorithm tabbed your channel as being a kids channel. Because the not for kids channels, you don't get comments and they don't get pushed.
Okay.
And that hurts your channel greatly. Yeah, it hurts.
I hate hearing that. That's terrible.
Yeah. That's why I've been very stagnant. I've been doing all this work to try and grow, and I've been very stagnant. And it's mainly because, like I said, you're fighting the algorithm. You're you know, I'm trying to get back into the world again. I'm trying to make content. I'm trying to be a bit more open about things, and it's been rough because once you get through those barriers, then you have that YouTube barrier. You just, for whatever reason, you don't know why it happens. It just does. It just does. So, and I see it happen to other creators too, especially female creators. A lot of female creators were having this happen to them because, you know, they have low voices and kind of sound like kids at times. And that algorithm might pick it up and say, well, even though you said you're not a kids channel, we think you are, and it'll automatically hit them. So it turns off your comments, it turns off notifications to your subscribers who have them on, and it won't push your content at all, and you're dead in the water. Yeah. So it's a tough.
And nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, you're basically stuck. It really stinks. And again, it's just something you got to kind of fight through. But other than that, this is not the first or last issue with cards in general. Right now, there's a bigger issue. There are bigger issues in the field. Kenneth Abel. Kenneth, what do you think are bigger issues in the field? We're going to wrap this up. I don't want to keep Gary too much longer. I was thinking we were going to do about an hour and a half, but hey, let's face it, Gary, I'm the talker here. I'm the one who's I can't shut up. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, lost Gary.
No, I'm coming back.
Oh, okay. I'm not gonna
Let me
lie.
see.
I drank an energy drink before I got on because I was a little tired. Today, so our kids go back to school Thursday, and so we did the school thing today. We had to go do we did dentist appointment this morning. Then we had to go to the high school for my 2 boys, and then we had to go to the elementary school for my daughter. So
Okay.
we were running around. I was up till 3 in the morning editing a video, Gary,
Oh boy.
that I didn't want to tell this person that I did this, but I already made the video. But somebody in this community sent me a very large box that I knew it was coming because he told me, but I did not expect what he sent. And I was so blown away. It really took a long time for me to film the video. So I spent the past 2 days trying to figure out how to edit it. I finished it at 4 in the morning last night for my wife to wake me up at 8 to have to go do all these appointments. So I was like, I need some energy drinks. But I'm gonna give you a little sneak peek here.
Okay.
Now, he sent me Pokemon stuff, but he sent this MetaZoo card. I'm only showing you the back, Gary. Let me here. You can see it's got I'm trying to, I don't want people to see it, but you can see the border, right?
Yeah.
It's a black border.
Sample card.
Yeah. I didn't own anything, no samples from MetaZoo. You know, I still own every single, I didn't get rid of any of my MetaZoo collection, Gary. I've kept it all. Shirts,
Me too.
hats, cards.
Uh-huh.
I have it all. I kept everything. Got rid of nothing. And I
Me
will.
too.
I'm going to keep it all because I honestly, and again, you're an inspiration too, because we've talked about how over the years you would buy all these rare, random TCGs and you keep it all. And I was like, yeah, you know what? This was a part of my life for 3 years. I'm not getting rid of it. I'm keeping it. And a lot of people wanted to buy my stuff. I got lots of offers. I turned everybody down. I sent 2 items to 2 people. One of them is a former MetaZoo employee who asked me for something because he didn't have it, which I was really shocked. I was like, how do you not have this stuff? You were like a high up in MetaZoo. How do you not have that? But I sent him something, and then I sent another person something. Otherwise, it was only because I had extras of it. Otherwise, I've kept everything I own. Sample, is it a Bigfoot? If it's green, it has to be Bigfoot or Squonk. It's a green man, or it's a jackalope. I'm gonna drop the video tomorrow. I'm gonna drop the video tomorrow. Yeah, it's already.
I'll be there.
It's an insane box from an unbelievable person who lives in Los Angeles.
Okay.
I couldn't believe it. I thought he was just gonna send me a hat. Because I love hats. I love hats. I'm a big hat guy. And I was like, I always liked his logo and his hat. And I was like, if you're gonna send me something, dude, all I want is your hat. So when I opened the box up, I was very blown away of the generosity that was in that box. It literally, I broke down. I think twice I had to walk away from filming. It was just so insane. Yeah, too kind.
I like the hat. I like the hats too. Here's one from Collecticon, and it's signed by Travie McCoy from from Jim School Heroes or whatever that was, and one by Tech9 from Kansas City, and one from one of the Yin Yang twins there. So I got to get the other Yin Yang twin here. But yeah, I like hats or memories too, like cards, Collecticon from
oh, don't tell me that.
Roswell. from Roswell, right?
That one triggers me, Gary. That one triggers me. Because I was supposed to get one. Remember, that was my first event I was officially invited to come stream and stuff. And I was the only person, the only creator they didn't give anything for.
Oh.
I was so mad. I wanted the hat more than anything, and I didn't get the hat. I was so upset. I
didn't know about that.
Yeah.
I might have to give you mine.
No. I don't want yours. But
Oh, sure.
I hounded Mike for months about that. I'm like, God, you know, I live, you know, Shaquille O'Neal. He's not my next door neighbor. Like I can't walk in my house, but I drive right down my street, and Shaquille O'Neal is my neighbor. And I told Mike, I said, Mike, I'm telling you, I've seen him several times. I go by his house every day. I'm gonna stop and ask him if he would do a stream with me and open up a Kickstarter box. Will you send me a Kickstarter box to open? And I said, I don't have to keep it. We'll open it with Shaq at his house on his channel, and we'll give the packs away or something. I don't know. I wanted to open a Kickstarter box. That's all I cared about.
Right.
At the time, I think it was like 10,000 for the Kickstarter box or something.
Yeah, right. At the top, yeah.
So I was trying to figure out ways for Mike to send me a Kickstarter box.
Oh.
And that was the only one I could think of. Yeah.
Did he send you one?
No, I never got it. He never sent it to me. I was like, whatever. Okay. So, but I tried. But the hat is what always triggered me, because I flew all the way there, and out of all the creators, everybody walked away. All the guys who they brought in, you know, Applesauce and of course, you know, Bailey and them, who I always consider like an employee. Basically, they're employees of MetaZoo, more or less. And I forgot who else. It was me, Applesauce. Oh, I think Windy City Pop Shop. They had come in to do Whatnot stream, but we were the three creators that they said they brought it. You know, we came in for that, and I did not get my hat, and I was so upset.
Did they run out? Did they run out of hats, or what was the reason?
They ran out of hats.
Oh.
Yeah, they didn't have enough.
Huh.
Yeah. Yep. And you know, I couldn't fly into Roswell because I have to fly Delta. So I had to fly into I had to fly into Albuquerque and rent a car, which I had a problem renting the car, that was a big debacle, which luckily we got it taken care of.
I think I remember hearing about that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we drove the three plus hours, but let me tell you, I stopped off at a dollar store to get my son a drink at the edge of town in Albuquerque.
Okay.
And I found a mecca of XY sleeved booster packs in that store. There was Breakpoint, Evolution. Oh yeah. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And you know, at this point in time, that it was already, the hype had already happened. And so that stuff was hard to get. And they had so much of it. I grabbed it all. As soon as I got home, my son, because Breakpoint is his favorite, well, I'm embarrassed to say it. Steam Siege, for whatever reason. Steam Siege is my son Hayden. It's his favorite set. But Breakpoint was his first set that he officially opened when we started doing Pokemon. And so he loves Breakpoint too. As soon as I got home, he opened all 20 plus ones that I brought home. Like in 5 minutes. He just ripped them all open. But I paid like $2 a pack.
Amazing.
It was crazy.
How lucky. Yeah.
Yeah. But all right, guys, I don't want to keep Gary anymore. We're just chatting, and there's really nothing else.
It's been great, Harley, and you know, we got to do this again soon, okay? Where we can talk about another part of the hobby, things that are going on, and maybe once we find out more about, you know, what's happening with MetaZoo, you know, with the resale or with the bankruptcy, or I guess, you know, they're probably going to be airing a MetaZoo Pawn Stars with me soon. And so, we can discuss stuff like that. It's fun.
Oh yeah.
But I appreciate this, and
Definitely.
I hope we got some good information out there and gave our opinions, and we'll go from there.
Definitely, definitely. Also, not only is there a MetaZoo Pawn Stars show coming up, there's also, I don't think how many people know this, there's a Pokemon reality show coming out that was apparently, I believe it's by Pokemon Company, and a YouTuber called Tricky Jim and another one, I guess they were tapped to be the host of the show, and it's going to be coming out real soon, but apparently they've already filmed all the episodes, so there'll be a reality Pokemon show coming out, 8 episodes.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's public knowledge. At least I hope it is.
Yeah, I've heard of that already. So
okay,
at least it's out there. Yeah.
Hey, Pokey Hank Hill, what's up? I'll tell you what, Bobby. Buy cars. What's going on, man? Clan Torres, guys. We really stretched this out. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little choppy. We did talk about the X-rays. We got Gary's thoughts and opinions. I did the most of the talking, unfortunately. I can't shut up sometimes. Sorry. I got to learn to stop drinking energy drinks because I get so pumped as I sit in this chair and I can't go anywhere, and I have all this energy, and it's like,
right.
But hey, Gary, everybody, you can catch Gary this upcoming weekend in Charlotte, and then what was it, like 2 weeks after you're gonna be in Richmond?
I am.
That's an interesting one. That's gonna be very interesting.
That'll be our first time at Collecticon in Virginia, so that is fun. And then I think Atlanta, Georgia, right after that,
September.
Or in September, yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess you'll be able to get over to that one, right?
Oh, I'll definitely. We're 100%.
Yeah.
We're gonna be doing that one.
Yeah. So if not before, I'll certainly see you there.
Guys, don't know, this is the new merch. This is World of Nom Nom's new merch. They're gonna have more new merch coming out. This is kind of old now, I guess, but for me it's new. But yeah, this is one of the characters in the World of Nom Nom. And you know who's gonna be voiced? I think it's voicing this guy.
Who?
Bryce Papenbrook. He's gonna be voicing the character.
Yeah, that's a real pro there.
Yeah. So hopefully I'm tapped to be a voice as well. I'm hopefully I gotta talk to Victor and him about it still, but I am still doing World of Nom Nom stuff. I'm doing Chronicles of Arcane as well. Also Soul Masters, who's been at your Collecticon events. Great guys, Frank, that whole team. Soul Master, I love those guys. I really like what they're doing a lot.
Yeah,
Soul
I
Masters
wish them
DCG.
well for sure.
Yeah, they're doing really good. But again, you can catch Gary at Collecticons, guys. It's coming up. If you want to see him, again, you still got several left. I had the list here because again, I had my schedule because I was planning to attend every Collecticon. I wanted to try and make every single one and make videos and stuff. And I know you guys already have a team of people, but it always it's fun to have more the merrier, right?
Yeah, they can all just go to collecticonusa.com to see where they all are. They're going to be all over. I think we have another 5 or 6 during the year. So
yeah.
All right.
So you can catch him there. Otherwise, that's going to do it, everybody. Again, I'm leaving in 2 weeks for Hawaii. I'll be at Pokemon Worlds, and I'm hopefully got a lot of stuff planned to do. I've been working on a lot of things, and we'll be doing some cool things out there. So definitely subscribe to the channel if you want to see some Pokemon stuff. And we'll be opening up Kickstarter Nom Nom hopefully in the next month to 2 months, I believe. And we got Chronicles. I got to do the I'm going to do it soon, but I'm going to be giving away on Instagram. We're going to be giving away this Chronicles of Arcane. This is the Nuxarian War. This is the non-alterating, whoops, where it is right there. Non-alterating box. So this is kind of a rare piece here. We're going to be giving this away on Instagram, and then I'll be giving away one on YouTube as well. I got 2 to give away. We'll be doing that.
Good.
But Gary,
All right. Okay.
thank you so much, my friend. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you, Harley, and I can't wait to see you soon.
Definitely. Yes, we will see you soon.
All right.
Have a good one, everybody. I appreciate it. Thank you for our moderators for moderating today's chat. Thank you, guys. We appreciate you being in here. Again, MetaZoo Metis had a lot of questions coming in. Thank you again, Metis, for a lot of those questions. Thank you, everybody. Have a great one, guys. Peace out. See ya.
Take care.
Take care, Gary.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.